everybody, and welcome to Storytime with Miss Morgan here at the Tennessee State Museum. Can you believe it's the 1st of November? Man, time is flying fast when I'm having fun with you guys. So I have a real fun book for this week. I cannot wait to read it. But before we get started, let's check our schedule. We need to go sing our welcome song. You guys ready? Let's go. Are you guys ready to sing our good morning song? So before we get started, let's practice and warm up those talking hands. So remember, our signs are happy and good morning. So let's practice one more time. So happy, take your hands like you're fanning yourself. Say happy. And good morning, take the fingers to your chin and say good morning. Great job. You guys are doing such a wonderful job. Good job. All right. So remember, we're going to sing it twice. So you ready? Good morning to you, and how do you do? I'm happy to see you. Good morning to you. Oh, great job. Ready again? Say, good morning to you, and how do you do? I'm happy to see you. Good morning to you. Oh, great job. Good, 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 good. Are you guys ready? It's now time for story time. Let's go. Great job, you guys. You guys are just getting better and better as each week goes by. Give yourself a pat on the back. So let's take off welcome song. All right. So you guys, this week is a pretty important week for us here in the United States. It's the 2020 election for our president. So I thought we would read Sofia Valdez, Future Prez for our book today. Sofia Valdez is probably one of my favorite books. I know I say that about a lot of books, but I just really like this book series. This author right here, Andrea Beaty, has written some really great books. So let's get started. Sophie was a baby who got things done, helping her family before she turned 1. Look, she's helping water that flower. She and Abuelo went out every week to help elderly friends around Blue River Creek who couldn't get out and about on their own with no place to gather or stuck home alone. Look, they're bringing groceries to their friends. Let's see. She has a birdhouse, and he has a cat, and she has a dog. Wow, looks like a fun apartment building. Raking the leaves, taking pets for a walk, or just dropping by for a treat or a talk. Sofia Valdez did as much as she could for her family and friends in her whole neighborhood. A dreamer, a doer, a real-life go-getter. Most people like good, but Sophia liked better. Look at, let's count the dogs. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a cat. That's pretty impressive to walk 6 animals at once, you guys. Oh, no. Each morning, Abuelo walked Sophia to class. They walked home again along Blue River Pass, making plans, munching cookies, Abuelo and girl, except for that Tuesday when Pup saw the squirrel with a howl, "Ow!" Pup took off, racing all through the town, over, under, beneath, and around. Sophie scrambled to try to keep up with the hollering man and the bellowing Pup. Uh-oh. What's going to happen? Up the squirrel ran to the top of a hill made of leftover junk from the local landfill. They reached the tip-top of that mountain of trash, which jiggled and broke with an ear-splitting crash. Uh-oh. Down they all tumbled and hit with a thud on moldy old pumpkins surrounded by mud. Say, ew, gross. Ouch! Cried Abuela. He struggled to stand. A dangerous mess, he said, grasping her hand. Oh no, Abuela's hurt. Let's see what happens. The next day, Sophia walked to school solo, but it wasn't the same without her Abuelo. This is not right, declared young Sophia, who glared at Mount Trashmore and got an idea. Wow, you guys, look at all of that trash. The very next morning at dawn, she planted a sign at the front of her lawn. She stood back and smiled, and Pup gave a bark. Ruff! Get rid of Mount Trashmore. Let's build a new park. Ooh, that's a really good idea. Each of her neighbors had something to say about benches and fountains and places to play. Meeting spots, gardens, a basket for bees, a rubber duck pond, and a kiosk for cheese? She drew every thought on her map of the park, which was perfectly perfect by a quarter till dark. A rubber duck pond sounds fun. She drifted to sleep on her soft, cozy bed, then bam! She woke up with a thought, smacked her right in the head. Her heart skipped a beat, and she realized each one of her neighbors had said, "Let me know when it's done." They all thought Sophia could build it alone, but how could one girl do so much on her own? The weight of that thought made her tender heart ache. As night thundered growled, she lay wide awake. Then dawn brought a storm, and the gluey sky wept, and the heartsick Sophia finally slept. Abuelo baked cookies when Sophia got up. He gave her a bagful and sneaked one to Pup. He blinked back a tear as he hugged to Sophia. For courage, he whispered, "Te amo, mi vida." Sophia's knees wobbled. She felt weak inside. She looked at his ankle and quite nearly cried. Though she didn't feel brave or courageous at all, Sophie went to face City Hall. That's a big building. So City Hall is where lots of our lawmakers are. So the mayor and things like people like that. So that's where like laws and things happen. And look, you guys, do you see this statue right here? That's Miss Ida B. Wells. She lived here in Tennessee. She was one courageous woman. She was a journalist here, and she was a fighter for women's suffrage. How cool is that? The mayor's office sent her to room 401, the Blue River Creek Department of Fun, which sent her downstairs to room 302, the Office of Duck Ponds and Cool Things to Do, to the Office of Monkeys, the Department of Cheese, the Division of Fountains and Meetings and Bees, then down to the basement so musty and cramped, where all the town's papers were sorted and stamped. And that's where the clerk said what no one else did, "You can't build a new park. You're only a kid." Those words smacked Sophia deep down in her heart. Her plan was kiboshed before it could start. I think, said Sophia, I think that law is wrong. But her second grade voice didn't sound very strong. The clerk said, "Clearly, it cannot be done. Do you have a question?" Sophia said, "One, if you were me and if I were you and he was your grandpa, what would you do?" Well, said the clerk. Then she said nothing at all. She thought and she thought. Then she sent out a call to every employee throughout City Hall. The entire government of Blue River Creek crammed into the office to hear Sophia speak. But her words jumbled up and her cheeks turned bright red as dozens of emotions rushed into her head. Her heart beat so loudly she thought it would crack. The crowd leaned in closer. Sophia leaned back. Then her arm brushed the edge of an old cookie sack. And that was the moment when Sophia first knew being brave means doing the thing you must do, though your heart cracks with fear, though you're just in grade 2. She took a deep breath, looked the mayor in the eye, and though her knees wobbled, she held her head high. Sophie started talking. She spelled out her plan and why it all mattered and how it began. And once she got rolling, she had lots to say about meeting spots, monkeys, and places to play, and all other ideas for things they could do to help the town elders and other folks too. She had thoughts on the library, thoughts on the zoo, and perhaps a way to combine the two. A zoo library? That'd be awesome. "All right," cried the mayor, "go start a petition. If the town wants a new park, we'll form a commission." And so young Sophia got right to work with some help from her family and Pup and the clerk. "Let's build a park for everyone. Sign our petition, please." Bark for parks. Those are some great signs. Then others joined in, not all but few, like Miss Leela Greer and the kids in grade 2. Look, all of her friends. And look, there's Rosie Revere and Iggy Peck and Ada Twist, scientist. She's up there. Man, what a cool idea for her friends to help her. Liz says, scientists need parks, Gibbsby's, a chance. Sign our petition, please. A park to think in. Get rid of Mount Trushmore. Si se puedo. Wow, look at all of her friends. That is being very helpful, being very good friends. There are hearings and surveys and taxes to figure, then bulldozers, cranes, and a blue bigger digger. They all built the park. That's how it got done, with the hard work of, by, and for everyone. But it began with a dream of one person, just one, who laced up her shoes, then led the way to help Blue River Creek get a new place to play. Now, every evening till long after dark, the town comes together at Citizens Park. They hold this truth to be self-evident, that Sofia Valdez could grow up to be president. Until then, Sophia, that real-life go-getter, helps Blue River Creek get better and better. Wow, you guys, like, the whole town is helping. Do you see how cool that is? The end. You guys, I absolutely love this book because of one particular sentence. It says, Sophia first knew being brave means doing the one thing you must do, though your heart cracks with fear, though you're just in grade 2. I just think that is such a wonderful story, sentence in our story. So it really is cool because, you know, sometimes people think that being a kid means that you don't have an opinion and things like that. But just remember, even though Sofia Valdez was in 2nd grade, she helped make change in her community. So you're never too young or too old to help. And just remember, sometimes you have to do things that might scare you, but doing them will make things better. So always remember that, and remember that Miss Morgan believes in you. So let's check our schedule. All right, it's time for activity. So in our book, we see Miss Sophia here has some signs for her petition. They had to get people to sign a petition for them to start the park. So they were holding signs. But, you know, people make signs for all kinds of things. You know, you might have seen some campaign signs because it's the election year. But you might also see yard sale signs. You can pretty much make signs for anything. So I thought for our art today, we would make our own presidential campaign signs. Because in our book, the townspeople realized that Sofia Valdez would make one great future Prez. So all you need is a piece of paper, a popsicle stick, and some tape. So this is my vote for Miss Morgan sign. So you guys have fun with these. Maybe tell your parents or grandparents or friends why you'd make a great president one day. So let's check our schedule. All right, it's our artifact time. You guys, this week's artifact is actually here at the museum. So you know what? I'll see you upstairs. Let's go. Hi guys, and welcome to Tennessee Transforms here at the Tennessee State Museum. So earlier we read Sofia Valdez, Future Prez, and I thought, how cool would it be to show you one of our political artifacts? So Dwight Eisenhower was running for president, and his campaign workers here in Nashville, the women wore these dresses. So it might be a little hard to see, but it says the word Ike and has some stars on it. Ike was the nickname they gave Dwight. And so the night of the election, those campaign workers, these women, they all gathered together and they wore these dresses in support of their candidate, which is really cool. And so, you know, today you might see people wearing things like hats or t-shirts. You might see bumper stickers or yard signs, because this is the week of our big 2020 election for the president. And so these types of things are how people show their support for their candidate. And, you know, I know you're just kids, but that's okay. One day, you will be able to vote in our elections. When you turn 18, you can actually register to vote, and you can go vote for the president or your governor or all kinds of different people. And so when you do that, you could actually, you know, maybe you can make a dress like this with your favorite candidate's name on it. So it's just a really cool way that people can show their support for their candidate. So you guys, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Friday. And you know what? I'll see you here next week at the Tennessee State Museum's Storytime with Miss Morgan. Bye, guys.